Hello YouTube, Sean Bradley here, and today I will be reviewing Live by Night, based on the 2012 novel by Dennis Lehane, and is the fourth directorial effort from actor Ben Affleck. The plot follows Joe Coughlin, played by Ben Affleck, a Boston outlaw who rises up through the ranks of the mob from a bank robber in 1920s Boston to a rum runner and notorious gangster in Ybor City in Tampa, Florida during the Prohibition era. I have recently joined the Cineworld Unlimited scheme and was able to see this exclusively at a members-only screening before its general release on the 13th of January. I have the box here. My card hadn't come yet, so I was given a temporary pass. This is where you would normally put it if you were a member. I have been a fan of Ben Affleck's work both as an actor and a filmmaker. This is Affleck's directorial follow-up to 2012's Argo, which won Best Picture at the 85th Academy Awards, with Affleck winning as one of the producers, along with his two other producers, Grant Heslov and George Clooney. Argo was a great film. It was thrilling and so interesting. I am also a fan of the author Dennis Lehane, and I've seen all of the films that have been adapted from his works. This is the second of Dennis Lehane's novels that Ben Affleck had adapted to the screen, as Affleck had made his directorial feature-length debut with an adaptation of Lehane's Gone Baby Gone in 2007. Live by Night was also the first Lehane book that I have actually fully read, despite the fact that I had first come to know of Dennis Lehane's existence by watching Martin Scorsese's 2010 adaptation of Lehane's Shutter Island. Out of Lehane's books, the only ones that I have read were Live by Night, which I had borrowed from my local library, Shutter Island, I've also read that, and World Gone By. I had also read Darkness Take My Hand, the second book in the Kenzie Gennaro series, which I had borrowed from my local library. And I have also read some of Mystic River. Now let's start off with Ben Affleck's direction. Ben Affleck directs this film pretty well. He may have borrowed a bit from Martin Scorsese with the use of first-person narration. The film is loaded with some action set pieces, including a car chase between Joe and the Boston police. Also, the cinematography is good. Affleck had directed and co-produced this film with Leonardo DiCaprio, who had previously starred in another Dennis Lehane adaptation, Shutter Island. Affleck also wrote the screenplay to this film. This film has a lot of differences from the book, and these differences are noticeable. The book had a slow start to it, while the film just jumped straight into the action and is told in a linear structure, instead jumping straight into the romance between Joe and Emma Gold, played by Sienna Miller. Unlike the beginning of the novel, with Joe enduring torture by Albert White, played by Robert Glenister, who is this gangster that is like the main antagonist in the movie. And the story of the novel is told in flashback. The film tells the story from the first person's perspective of Joe, with Joe narrating the film, unlike the book. One of the main characters, I think it was Joe, even title drops in the novel, but not in the film. The film is 2 hours and 8 minutes long, according to IMDb, and is adapted from, according to Wikipedia, a 401-page book. Now that is very long, so there may have been a lot of stuff that Affleck had cut out. In the book, Joe goes to prison for a bank robbery gone awry. Some of the book depicts his sentence and his time spent in prison, where he meets Italian mob boss Maso Pescatore, played by Remo Gironi, and it focuses on their friendship, and it leads to Joe working for him in evil, but instead he goes to prison, and then in the next scene, he's out. Also, Scott Eastwood is not in this film, even though it said it on the film's IMDb page that he would be playing Danny Coughlin, Joe's brother. He is mentioned but never appears. There are major differences in the book, which do lead to many characters getting killed off. I'm not going to say who, it's a large body count, but let me just say, don't expect Affleck to adapt World Gone By anytime soon. Now that we have covered Ben Affleck as a director, Ben Affleck as a writer, Ben Affleck as a producer, let's talk about Ben Affleck as an actor. He's a good actor. I liked him in other films like Gone Girl, Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, and The Accountant. I think he does do good in this film. He looks the part of a tough 1920s gangster, and there are some bits in the film where he can come off as monotonous in his voice, but overall I think he did fine. You have the supporting characters such as Joe's father Thomas Coughlin, played by Brendan Gleeson, Albert White, and his mistress Emma Gold, who Joe falls for and has an affair with in the first act, that I am surprised to find have Irish accents, as I perceived them to be American when I read the book. Gleeson and Glenister's accents surprised me in the trailer. However, I thought that the Emma character was American. She had only one line in the trailer, and I took it thinking that it was being spoken in a South Boston accent. Park the car in the Harvard yard. Brendan Gleeson does good in his screen time, playing a no-nonsense police captain. Sienna Miller does okay in the role of Emma, and Robert Glenister is good in the role of Albert White. His face puts you in mind of John Lithgow. Trinity from Dexter, John Lithgow, with the smile of Jack Nicholson. Chris Messina does good in this film as Dion Bartolo, Joe's sidekick. He has a few one-liners. During the course of the film, Joe falls in love with and marries Graciela Suarez, played by Zoe Saldana, who is the daughter of a man that Joe goes into a partnership with in the bootlegging of rum. Zoe Saldana is good as the role of a doting wife. There are other subplots running parallel, including a side villain played by Matthew Mayer with ties to the KKK, and the character of Loretta Figgis, played by Elle Fanning, a Christian speaker who threatens the mob's plans to build a casino. Elle Fanning is so good in this film, delivering powerful sermons to her audience. The music in this film is epic. The film's score was composed by Harry Gregson Williams, who had previously collaborated with Ben Affleck on his first two directorial efforts, Gone Baby Gone and The Town. There are some pieces of music that seem emotional when it gets to the important scenes in the film. This film has gotten some bad reviews by critics and currently has a 33% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It was completely snubbed by the Golden Globes and the BAFTAs, although it may get some Oscar nominations in the technical categories, particularly for Best Cinematography. Maybe Live by Night worked better as a novel. The film is more driven by a narrative, whilst the book is a slice-of-life character study. So to sum up, Live by Night is a good film. The cinematography is great. The changes in adapting the book to film are very noticeable and did play with my expectations a bit. Some of the performances were fine. Elle Fanning was great. Ben Affleck is a good director, and I enjoyed his last 3 films. So do see the film when it comes out in the UK on the 13th of January. It's not bad, but it may not be a faithful adaptation to Dennis Lehane's source novel. I give this film an 8 out of 10. This is Sean Bradley signing out. I'll see you later. Bye.